Hey, hi, good evening, good day, everyone. It's Jason from JNP Consulting. Here's my video again on the GST change from in Singapore context from 8% to 9%. Just some advertisement before we start. These are all the verticals that we actually are involved in, and if you're interested to know more about JNP Financial add-on features, how to prepare account schedule easily from Business Central. Feel free to ping me after this session. My email address is on this, and you can give me a call as well. You can also visit the company website if required. Okay, so for everyone to understand a little bit more, for GST rate change in Singapore, you can just do a Google 9% and you can see this. So you can go through the article as to when to change your rate officially. There is probably some cool down dates, etc. All right. In any case, look for your tax consultant if you're unsure, right? So this video is really not advising you when do you change it, but officially from 1st January onwards, your system should be able to cater for 9%, and that's what we are trying to do. So there may be cases where supplier bills you late, etc., and they may have shipped the products already. Later we can talk about that case, and yeah, so we can see how we can change that, how we can handle that as well. Okay, but in the last year when we do JNP Consulting Learn with over here, the more info JNP learned. So we have uploaded the video on YouTube as well as on website. It's a pretty lengthy video, right? But it covers quite a fair bit of um, information. All right. So I will not touch everything in detail there, but why do I really want to create another video? Because that video can actually works out well pretty much actually. But it's more on the VAT rate setup that people are because you have run before, right? Because you have run before, so the settings over there is a bit different from the one that I've shown in my first video. That's the primary reason that why I'm showing the video again. Okay, so before that, I would just like to create a purchase order just to show you what's going on. Say for example, today is still in December, and this, let's take for example this item, tax code is 8. So I create a purchase order, and I'm going to use this example to demonstrate the purchase order where it's half received, half not received, what's going to happen. It's probably covered in my first video. I can't remember, so it's not difficult. So I'm just going to quickly run through here. All right. So I'm just going to quickly select a vendor here and select the item. All right. This time around, I'm just going to put the quantity 10 because I'm going to do partial receiving. All right. So, okay, I'm just going to round up the value so that it's quite clear. This year is 8%, right? So I'm just going to quickly do a partial receiving. And probably 8 pieces out of a purchase order of 10 pieces. Of course, you can multiple lines. This is just a demo, so it works the same way. Right, done. All right, so I still have 2 outstanding. After the VAT rate change, I'm gonna show you what's going on and what happened. All right, so the same thing as usual. Before we go and to the VAT rate change table, right? There is this thing called convert and also VAT product posting group conversion. Okay, you can see that you will last year. Okay, not sure why it was converted this date, but anyway, last year we did a 7% to 8%, just like the website said, and now we have to change from 8% to 9%, right? So I'm just gonna you can see that I did not have the code. So I probably have to prepare that code. And preparing is just duplicating it, and then I can go to the setup probably, and but just to be sure, just gonna do a quick sorting just to see where it goes. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna do the same setup again like last year. Pardon me if it's a bit boring, but yeah, I can't remember why you use this database. So essentially, 7%. What was done in the initial stage, you do a 8%, and you copied 9% for exactly every single posting group. Why? Because if you change the posting group and let's say you missed out creating this one, for example, when you create your normal processes, you may get into error. So it's safer. What is done as it is already, please just use as it is. All right. Just copy exactly whatever rates you have set previously, and then mirror image. The only difference is over here, which you need to make the change, right? This is not exactly standard rated because it's 9% domestic, or domestic with a combination of domestic and 9% for sure is STD 9%, right? For EU, yeah, most Singapore doesn't have EU, so yeah, probably not, right? So I can put export here. You rated 9, right? Okay, no biggie. What's important is this one, all right? Please do not forget to put the 9 here. If you're not comfortable setting this up, might as well seek for your partner help, all right? If your partner can't help, or for whatever reason, too many projects on hand, GST change helping the client, then you can consider looking for us, probably, if you are free, right? So text category, I would try to mirror image. Yeah, I can try to mirror image the same as before, the new convention, but I usually try to keep it the same as VAT identifier, right? But the impact is not as great. All right, the impact is not as great as this view, and of course this view, because these two direct calculation. Okay, I'm done with the setup. Done. So I'm gonna change from 8 to 9. And if you notice, if I select and create a record like directly, you may receive this error message stating this entry will create a loop with the entry which with to code is set to text code 8%. All right, so this is never gonna work. So no point trying to figure out how you can do this or rename this. Okay, easiest way is to remove by deleting. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. Choosing the from and to, all right, and leave the converted date as empty is fine, right? This is normal. Okay, you should delete the record and you should reinsert with 8 to 9. And when should you run this? All right, so let's take a look at our today's date is this date. So it's probably recommended that you run it on last day. If you're in the retail business, maybe you have to plan carefully and maybe do it on the wee hours of the morning, right? So as not to affect the changes that happen. If you're not in the retail hours, maybe Friday, everybody's cleaning leave anyway, right? So probably the end of Friday, lock the access. Nobody should do any posting, and you make the change probably over the weekend, right? In this case, I'm just gonna simulate on the very last day to prepare for the conversion, right? So let's check again. Okay, date. Okay, for your info, please do not change the work date by yourself, because I'm just simulating that it's on the last day. I'm not trying to tell you to change the work date. All right, just in case you're mix up. Okay, now this supposed to be last VAT rate change record that you have run from 7 to 8%, and you see both tick. Okay, it is normal. All right, it's normal. Right, what you see is normal. So what you have to sorry, what you have to do is you have to untick. You have to untick this. If you're not comfortable and confident, you can untick first, all right? Because if you untick this and perform the convert, it will literally convert and execute the perform straight away, all right? So unless you're done in the UAT, you are absolutely clear of what's going on. Yeah, you can do that. But to most accountant are anyway conservative, right? So let me show you what happened if I untick first. All right. So now let's take a look at the log entry that had happened previously. The last record apparently is a 227 and it's 7 to 8% and last converted in 2022. Right. So now I do not want to perform the conversion yet, so I leave it there. Master data journal document, I'll leave it as it is. If it is running fine for the previous year, so just stick with it, all right? Unless the previous year had some hoo-ha, some hiccup that caused that you shouldn't be changing, but you change, right? Then you might want to be careful. But in any case, just best practice and the advice from all consultants are usually to perform this in the sandbox, and that is the right thing to do. All right, and make sure you are you're familiar with the change precisely before you execute the function, because this function is irreversible, right? Irreversible, right? So I'm gonna click on the sorry, I'm gonna leave it here, but I'm not gonna tick here. I'm gonna click convert and see what happens. Okay, I'm done. So I can go into reality. I can do a sort. Previously was 22227 or something like that, right? Yeah, 22227, something like that. Yeah. The last record was this. Now you can 228 and description cannot perform because the perform is not set to true, because I just want to test. Just want to test water. So I want to test that, make sure, oh, okay, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. It's as what I expect. So that was just a trial run, in fact, right? So now if I were to go back here and, okay, I'm fine with the thing already, and I'm gonna click on this. Again, this is not ticked. Don't tick this. When you tick this, execute the convert, this will be ticked automatically when it's done. Let's take a look. Okay, now it's ticked. Now let's check the log entry. And yeah, probably gonna see more anyways, all right? So I just want to focus on the purchase line that I've created earlier. So I guess it was these two. Not sure if it is purchase or this purchase line invoice or purchase order. Yeah, purchase order last record, you can see that it was changed. The one of the record which we have a remaining quantity of 8, it still remains at 8 because it was posted already, all right? But it was split. So there is audit trail stating that there was a split, and it contains the outstanding or the latest one. And you can see all the converted date is actually the last day of this calendar year, right? Or there is marked as converted, you officially be converted. Unless there's error message, you got troubleshoot that, right? So now let me go to items and let's take a look at this item. Here is changed to 9 now, right? So you should do a check, like if you're using item, for sure, please check the VAT product costing grid is changed. If you are using the resource, which is not here, but you can search resource, all right? Please make sure you check there. And of course, the last one is the chart of account. Chart of account, I'm not sure if you want to change it immediately on the last day, but if you do change, the accountant or whoever who needs to use GL quite frequently, especially if you have some integration for other system, please make sure know the impact first before you change, or you decide not to change and change it manually later, right? But in any case, chart of account, if you happen to have a default posting group, it will be set to 8. And if it was set to 8, you'll see 9. If you previously set to 0, empty, it will not change. It will remain as status quo. Okay, again, any integration, please be careful. And now I'm going to show you the purchase order. And this last purchase order. And yeah, I am seeing the split for me automatically. And last quantity 2, you can see those two that is still outstanding past this cutoff date, we should decide to do it on the last day of the calendar year. Now it changed 9%. Okay, this is the correct thing to do, even though the purchase order itself was raised last year. But because of the cut over, you have not received these two pieces by the end of the year. By next year, when supplier bills you or send to you, they should be billing you with 9%. If they're billing you with 8%, you can tell them something is wrong. Please follow the IRAS guide. And right, just for peace of mind, just do some simple calculation, right? So 200 multiplied by 1.09 is 218. So 800 multiplied by 1.08 plus 218. So that it's 1082, exactly the same, right? So this change is okay. Now, what happens if the supply, you can see you have not invoiced for these 8 pieces and the supplier gives you, delivers these 2 pieces after the year end in 2024 and bills you one shot in a combined invoice of 10 pieces at 9%. All right, so okay, in this case, you might have to discuss with your finance management to discuss with their finance management to see what's going on. How come you did not bill you the 8%, 8 pieces at 8%? Instead, you're billing it. If they insist, right, you have no choice. So what can you do? So you might have to come to right, the receipt line and potentially undo the receipt, right? So that you can change the quantity manually and yeah, like this, so that you can reopen the purchase order and then do the receiving and then change the VAT product posting group. Okay, alternatively, if you are not posting directly a PI directly from PO, right? If you are posting PI directly from PO, you may have to undo and then change the code, then repost again. If the supplier insists that 9% is what they want to bill, right? Sometimes, yeah, you can't, depends on who is bigger, right? But if you are doing a purchase or invoice from get receipt line, you can change at the purchase invoice line, even though you post a purchase receipt at 8%, right? You can do that at purchase invoice, right? So these are just some tips for those that are not so sure of what's going on, and yeah, you can do that, right? So finally, I've shown this before, but since this video touches this, right? So this VAT statement, if you're using external reporting tools such as Power BI or Jet Reports, you may have to perform a different filter or change some filter in your report, those external reporting. However, if you are not, you're just relying on the VAT statement alone itself, then you might have to do this. Do same thing as it is. Just create a GST Form 5 2024, right? So I can put the 9% here. All right, so I'm gonna fill in this blank here. So here, so I will export to Excel, and then okay, I think I've exported twice. Okay, Excel was a little bit slow, so just bear with me. Okay, so just for info, in our earlier session last year, for those of you who tried to do a row copy like this, 3-row copy, and go over to the next row, and you try to do the paste. Oh, okay, it works. Okay, if it works, it works. Don't have to export to Excel. Strange. Earlier it was not working for me. Yeah, just copy and let me try again. Right, but you're gonna make sure you probably put in the first cell. Okay, it's not working again. All right, I'm not sure. Okay, Okay. Not sure why. Okay, so anyway, this was my exported version, right? So I tested this before this video, so I know there's gonna be some error again. So no worries, we'll fix it together. Again, you can see this error. When you see this error, do not worry. There's always warning message to tell you what is right and what is wrong. So it's probably this tick, right, is actually saying yes or no, right? So if the Excel that you're trying to paste in the value was true, then you may have to change it on the Excel. So this is what I'm talking. True is actually yes, and false is actually no, right? So if you do simple change like this, that may probably gonna help, right? I'm just copying the whole body, excluding the first column, because first column is the header. Strange, I can paste the 3 records earlier, but anyway, yeah, right, done. Box 1, box 2, all this you can fill up yourself. There is no biggie, right? So what was changed last year was 7%, right? So I should probably change to 8% and 9% here, all right? And 9%, 8%, 9%, and 8%, 9%, all right? Like that, all right? You probably wouldn't be setting up 7% because it's probably not necessary. Yeah. And for purchase standard rated, if your supplier is still billing you 8% and you have closed the period, but you missed the invoice or whatsoever, all right? So if exceptional case, you can do like what was done before, like just like this standard rated, you can add, right? And then you can add the 8% there, right? Will I double count? Most likely not, because when you set up that set up 8 and 9, right? So it's essentially saying that yeah, any posting that is with 8 and 9, you will be shown within that period itself. So next year when you report GST, like if you're reporting quarterly, you should put something like that, right? Put something like that and check if the amount is there or not. And if you have closed already, please put a close and verify your close statement. End of the day, it's always good practice that you check within and before windows, before and within period, to make sure there's no value there, right? But what's more important is open and within period. Once you have done the close income statement, which is I would highly recommend to do, right? Some companies or some partners, they don't actually teach that, all right? So that is actually important, very important thing, so that you know what to report, right? So what I'm trying to say is this one, and you're gonna fill up the date as usual, right? So, or maybe when you report that time, it was probably in August, April, right? Posting date and VAT date, you can leave it the same. It's more of this VAT date that was introduced in the Europe, right? Fill in, choose the balancing account and preview. And once you're fine with the thing, click post. Right, just I think there was a schedule update, so yep, all good. Hope you all have fun the video. We will be posting more and more interesting videos to share more on other aspect next year. So feel free to follow us on YouTube and link it. Thanks.